Yeah, well, the DeFi space, for those who are on this call, is probably not scary, and it's not, it's very, it's just second nature for a lot of the people on this call. But for a lot of the more institutional and traditional investors, it's terrifying. It's exciting. It's everybody wants to have something in it, but nobody understands, and I'm speaking of the $93 trillion of registered investment advisors and asset managers, trillion, that just don't quite know, like, what does this mean, and how does it work? And Vesper does something for that whole ecosystem, that it just simplifies it. It just brings it down to the base nature of, hey, it doesn't have to be complicated. It needs to be secure, because if I don't understand it, then I'm not going to touch it. And that's exactly what Vesper is doing. The second piece of it was, there's a lot of operational risk when you're an asset manager in the digital asset space. The public private keys, you could have a rogue employee, you have just an awful lot of, I mean, you're an absolute, hack risk, right? Because you're a honeypot, and you're putting yourself out there. It's social engineering, all of the different things that happen to you as an asset manager. And a DeFi platform like Vesper is exactly the kind of thing that is kind of that first step. And that's where I believe Vesper has just absolutely nailed it. Is it's going to be one of the first DeFi platforms that will enable investment advisors and financial advisors and individuals of high net worth and family offices to come in and have the confidence to invest. But there's still a lot of nuance here. It's not necessarily mainstream, right? It's an on-ramp, but it's not necessarily right to the front door. And that's where the Blockforce fund can enable that, is just by piping it right to the front door, literally making it, hey, this is just a fund. You just invest in it on a normal basis. It has an administrator, it has a fund manager. We take care of the operational risk. We take care of all the custody. We're the ones who are providing all the statements, and we've hired an administrator. And like, that's kind of the thinking that we had. But we didn't want to do it with just random DeFi projects that had a lot of hack risk and a lot of those other potential just opportunities to just ruin the reputation of this entire beautiful thing that's happening organically in the market.